Hi, beautiful beings of light. This is Anna. Welcome to my YouTube channel, month of April of 2022. So, the energies are now different, I would say. There's lots of light and revelations and kind of calming down for me. I mean, those who've done the inner work, you guys, raising the frequency vibration, doing the inner work, simplifying our lives, being of service. I mean, that's pretty much was the key, right? In order to then bring peace and make this world a better change, because the change has to happen from within and happens with us, right? Because we are the co-creators, right? With the divine. So my disclaimer, right? We're watching our thoughts, feelings, and emotions because... we are responsible for our realities. And now in the bifurcation of the timelines, I mean, we are splitting, right? You got the negative faction, they're facing self-destruction, and then of course you have the ascension, the kundalini rising, the awakening, the shift in consciousness, the evolution, the liberation. Okay, so it's ready for the ET context and the free energy and so on. The new Earth government, right? The new Earth jurisdiction. I'm implementing the Galactic Codex, everything, because everything happens to me. Was bringing a project for the military back then in 2009 for the MC, for the Marines, and I was supposed to be disposed and. Oh, in order, okay, now I'm getting it. Like, in order for me to be accepted, you have to be a Marine. So yeah, so they pretty much in that astral plane, they all kinds of initiations, but it was satanic, it was brutal, right? It was rape. Okay, that's the called skull and bone, right? And then the reversals, the metatronic reversals, the artificial tree of life, right? They wanted the overlay, right? They wanted to totally hijack my consciousness, my aura, my energy field, right? With those 10 spheres, the base 10 mathematics, okay? So but it was not nice. I was like, no thank you. This is not correct. It all has to be corrected. I don't agree with that. It was it was torture, brutality. It was total dumbing down. My aura energy field was extremely dirty and filthy, right? Black goo. And it was anti-human, anti-life, anti-Christ. And no thank you. But again, I call upon Ashtar command, and here we go. That's why, again, this is my story, guys. Only take what resonates with you, leave the rest. Okay, remember, I'm sharing my story with you. Those are my experiences, or this is information based on direct experiences, and of course the inner knowledge coming through when I was studying Lisa Renee's material and start doing lots of meditation. And before that, I was of course doing yoga, lots of yoga, tantra yoga as well, but not the tantra here, in this kind of reversal and dumbing down, the pure original from the rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains. Okay, so that's why I'm sharing the information through my soul signature, right? Energy signature, through my operational system, because we're the guardians, we're the star seeds, we're the truth seekers. I mean, we're the truth defenders. Okay, and the indigo warriors, spiritual warriors, and so on, the rainbow warriors, guys. So we're here to make the change. We're the frequency holders, right? And also the holding the sacred space, and then creating those communities with ETs for my soul group, for my tribe, right? So my videos are not for everybody. And like I said, take what resonates with you, leave the rest, because everybody's got their own story and everybody's got their own kind of deal here, right? The 5D protocol, or the practice of the evolving self. We are asking yourself, who am I? Why did I come here to this world? What is my mission? What are my gifts and talents? Nobody can do ascension for you. right? Nobody can really even activate your DNA on that personal level, right? Nobody can like enter your body and do it for you. We can activate it through through space and time, etherically, energetically, right? But at the same time, time to be responsible and accountable. We're very powerful co-creators with the divine. That's why I said we're watching our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and so on. What are we putting out there, right? Because we have the now the new earth jurisdiction. We have the universal laws, the law of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. What you put out there, it'll come back to you like a boomerang. And that the things are changing. The architecture, right, the blueprint of the original grid is here, right? We have grid workers and gatekeepers. That's why join us for the unity meditation with Sandra Walter. All these repairment, all the correction, all the corruptions, right? And creating this new earth grid, the crystalline grid. And we go even higher, right? The 10D grid that was polluted and inverted and perverted in Iran. That's the golden eagle grid, right? That all also restored in those higher etheric places, right? The golden eagle grid there in Middle East, where all the mind control was happening, right? So that's why raising the frequency here, and especially for the military, for the Marines, my soul group, my tribe, okay, they need to deprogram, rewire their subconscious mind, bioregenesis, right? And so on. So interesting times, all about divine timing for me to kind of reconnect with those guys in the military. So we'll see how everything goes, everything unfolds, right? Even for you guys, praying for everybody, world peace, for happiness, success, and abundance, right? Because it's time to enjoy ourselves, time to enjoy our divinity. That's how we were designed, with 12 strands of DNA, right? With a crystalline heart, with plasma light body, having direct connection to God, to source, and being the guardians of this planet, of Mother Earth, and Tara and Gaia as well. So welcome. Again, I have my Ascension protocol, Guardian protocol for the new earth. I'll go over that, and today we'll also talk about the Ayurveda, the structure of Ayurveda as well. I had this Ayurvedic cooking, raising the frequency vibration, why the light diet, and how you can release yourself from karma, right? And release yourself from that phantom matrix. People still going to restaurant, eating meat, right? Fluoride water. In those restaurants. That's why I don't go to restaurants. I don't know what kind of oil is being used, okay? The energy very distorted. That's why I'm hoping, praying I can connect with my soul tribe, and we start creating communities with the yoga Ayurveda background, of course. Yeah, that's my Ascension protocol. Also talk about the new earth jurisdiction, the Galactic Codex. We're implementing Galactic Codex because we've been dealing with highly advanced races of that negative faction, right? The black hole technologies, the black sun, right? The Nazis, the Gestapos, they infiltrated the entire infrastructure here in the United States. So that all needs to be brought into divine justice. Ascension is real, guys, okay? There's the mechanics of ascension. That's why we talk about the tree of life, the universal tree of life, the music of the spheres. Even Pythagoras was talking about how the consciousness travels through dimensions. So we have to restore the divine template, right? The blueprint of the original 15-dimensional universal time matrix, like it was founded by the Christos founder races, the Amethyst order, the Golden order, the Emerald order, right? We're going back to the Emerald order with a blue flame. So it means we're aligning ourselves with God's divine will. who are in the military or the politicians, or you have all these corporations, do they meditate? Those people, are they aligning with God's divine will, right? Even people are praying, that's great, they're bringing the Jesus, but as you know, the true story, that Yahshua, especially the 12D, 12 strands of DNA, he ascended, he was initiated in Egypt and he ascended. There was no crucifixion, okay? So and he was a yogi, and he was he's still ascended master. Now you can actually know him as Commander Sananda. Also, I'm connected with his name Isa. He was a Buddhist monk when he was traveling in the Far East, okay? And so we have to resurrect the ancient teachings of the Essenes, right? Of Yahshua. He was taught, he was going to the schools, to the temples, and he was initiated by the Essenes, right? The Christos founder races, and going back to the Emerald Order, the Emerald Covenant, the original divine blueprint, like I said, to source. Okay, and again, it all comes from within, right? The inner connection is extremely important. So this is the tree of life, the 12D grid. We're connecting to the 12D grid. That's why I talk about the 12 strands of DNA, also the 12D shielding with the platinum light, the 12D ray. Okay, how important it is, especially those who were abused, violated, military, who are Pleiadians, or who are star seeds, or Arcturians and Syrians and Andromedans, right? Because we're also dealing with the Andromeda High Council. They're hosting this Ascension. So you guys, this is information. I have it from Lisa Renee, and it's very powerful. It helped me with my restoration, with resurrection, all my energies, feeling myself again, because I was brutally insulted, right, by the MIC, the MC, the three-letter agency, the men in black, and wreaking havoc and total abuse of power and authority in those higher places, the echelon, right? The cabal, the Illuminati, or the negative faction. You have the mafia families. They think they own this world. No, thank you, because I've been dealing with soul fragmentation. We have to do intergenerational healing, because my soul siblings, those who thought that they're joining military and they're fighting for this country, right? Now we are resurrecting the original constitution. They thought like they'll be such a they're doing such a great work, and look what was done to them, and with the constitution being suspended, and people don't even know that. So it's time to be educated, be in the know, be in the now. Okay, very important. Like I said, the golden eagle grid restored in Iran. Okay, that was the 10-dimensional stargates, and we're going back to the original stargate D12 Armathena back in constellation Lyra. So guys, again, the information extremely important. Okay, so again, what is Ascension, the universal tree of life, and how they are trying to put the Metatronic reversals over our energy bodies. Well, that's what happened to me. My aura, my energy body, my light body, right, was totally destroyed. They wanted to dismantle it. They steal your DNA, they want your blood, the archons, the negative ones, and so on, and the Anunnaki, right? Anunnaki, program my control, because some of them, they're actually they're my lineage, they're my DNA lineage, they're part of my family. So see how everything goes, everything evolves. But for you guys, I'll go again over the Ascension protocol, and I'll go over some of the Ayurveda stuff. Those who are interested in this beauty and the art of Ayurveda, it comes from the Rishi sages, Himalayan mountains, the blue starborn. They downloaded all these codes, how to be in harmony with nature. And that's what Ayurveda means, knowledge of life. Okay. And so that's why I was attracted to those teachings, and they actually, that's who helped me, right? Ashtar, the Ashtar come in, and Mata Varbabaji, Satya Sai Baba, Shri Yukteswar, Pamsa Yogananda, right? They're now helping me with a project for the military that I designed back then in summer 2009, okay? And then of course, if the military, if the the echelon, the high-ranking military officer, did not control you, then they what? They want to destroy you. No, thank you. So, you just kind of have to claim your power back. Here we're ascending, and it is what it is. You cannot, argue with God anymore, okay? And again, so let's go over the protocol, the the Ascension, the Guardian Protocol for the New Earth, right? Because on my website, dianakalai.com, under Contact, I have the 12D Shielding, plus I have the Decree for Sovereignty and Forgiveness. We're working with the White Flame as we're entering the new Golden Age in Aquarius, right? With Saint Germain, with the White Flame, extremely important for transformation, transmutation, for freedom, for liberation, for joy, but also for forgiveness. We have to be forgiven. We cannot, again, fighting among each other. And of course, I'm a shadow worker, guys. So that's why the Vat Flame works so well, being, in those energies all the time. Whenever there's a trigger or there's a situation, you're in rage and so on. And the drama kicking in, right? Your pain body, your shadow self. That's how you center yourself. You go into your heart, into your center. Let's invoke the Violet Flame. Beloved, I'm presence bright. Round me seal your tube of light. From ascended Master Flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I'm calling forth wildfire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I'm one with the Violet Flame. I am a being of wildfire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of wildfire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of wildfire. I am the purity God desires. Amen. Abhunda Bashmaya Nitkada Shamoch Tete Mal Kutach Nechwe Tibiana Aikana de Bashmaya Ahbaad Ah Havlan Lach Madasun Kanan Yaumana Warshpoklan Haubain Wachtahain Aikana Dafkanan Shwakan Lahayabain Wala Taklan Lanasuna Elapatsan Min Bisha Mitul de Lachem Mal Kuta Wahi Labatashbukta La Alam Almin. Amen. There was a Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art Satchitananda. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, hatred, anger, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. Let thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in thee forever and ever. Amen. So love, devotion, dedication to the divine is the key, right? That's the bhakti yoga, devotion. Then we have the japa mantra, meditation, invoking the violet flame. That's part of the Ascension protocol. That's, guys, what helped me, right? Kind of being on that yoga path and self-mastery. And then, of course, I went to the underworld with my soul siblings in the military, with the MC, right? With the cold skull and bones, with those reptiles there, right? Of the negative faction in those military bases, doing horrible experimentations with those tall grays and with the Orion group and, those negative aliens with their negative alien agenda, right? And here we go, resurrecting all these energies, okay? Claim my power back, command your space, and here we go. Here we're on the Ascension path, Ascension journey, who have a project, who have a mission here. We have a divine protection, yeah? Because, there's still war going on, guys. War over the consciousness, over humanity, over this grid, right? This new earth grid right now. And those guys, they don't want to face the justice. Even how many people here you can see in families, right? At work and so on. Talk about the shadow. Face your shadow. Some people, ooh, I have no dark energies, right? So, it happens on all levels. So we can't really, if you want to, again, deal with the dark government, the dark military, the shadow SSP, transform, transmute your shadow. That was my lesson that I had to learn, right? And that's why I'm coming up with this new Earth jurisdiction, implementing the Galactic Codex, because I call upon Arsta command for help. And, it takes time. It's a process. Even they had to deal with me because I was programmed, or they were supposed to, make also terrorists out of me, right? Assassin. So all kinds of energies had to be transformed, transmuted, right? They're splitting your mind they're split 2 hemispheres of the brain. They do all kinds of surgeries in that astral plane. And so, they were just trying to dismantle my light body. So I had to correct all that, in that astral plane, emotional plane, a mental plane, right? Spiritual plane, and here in the physical body as well, here with this new hologram coming from the hypospace hologram, okay? Because I feel here, I'm still here with you guys, kind of operating physically. I have to go to work, earn the money. Please, if anybody, is watching and wants to support me, please donate. Because it's not easy to do this work, and the Ascension and the humanitarian project. So that would be nice. I would really appreciate that. And like I said, it was a lots of work, lots of healing I had to do, right? It costs a lots of money. It takes a lots of time. So hopefully, like I said, I can reunite with my soul siblings, with my soulmates, and make this world a better place, especially for the military, right? The military bases and all this training and all these recruitments, with teachings of yoga and with Ayurveda, the Ayurvedic cooking, and chanting, invoking the violet flame. So that's kind of my vision. See everything how it goes, guys. Ascension is real. On Ascension Glossary, what is Ascension? There's a cosmology, okay? You can read the mechanics. You can really there's a mathematical formula for everything, okay? So there is so much also proof, because we're going quantum, we're going galactic, we're going interstellar. We've been doing it with highly advanced races, but unfortunately of the negative faction that created all this havoc and all this disharmony in this place, and the torture, and creating all these wars. So the guys entering the military, they're nothing but puppets for them, right? With no free will, with no thinking, like they couldn't even think for themselves. So we have to correct all that. The Kundalini rising, or the energy, the abuse of the sexual power, the abuse of the Kundalini, right? The energy, the sexual energy. We have to master, very important, mastering our sexual energies and having God sovereign free boundaries. You can find it everything on my website, yanakalai.com, under contact. Okay, unity vow, very important. We're going to the Emerald Covenant, Emerald Order. Okay, and everything, we're going back to God, to source, the 0-point balance, right? God matrix, this is the source of our genesis, of our creation. 12D shielding, unity vibe, unity meditation with Sandra Walter. So bringing the crystalline consciousness back online into every cell, molecule of our bodies, into all layers. Okay, we're a multidimensional being. We are changing the carbon-based DNA into crystalline DNA. Of course, with good diet as well, right? Last time I read about, you want to be karma-free? plant-based diet. Again, my videos are for those evolved souls, volunteer souls, for indigo warriors, right? Those who are on ascension path. So it does require lots of work, inner work, lots of, to me, also meditation, readjustment. So we need to be here helping each other, communicating, forming those communities, being supported. Whoever has the financial prosperity, that would be great, because then we have the quantum financial system, right? And I understand people are collecting coins, or they have the golden coins or the silver coins, but there has to be so much repair, so much healing of the abused military veterans, right? Abused children. Okay, so hopefully that people are investing the money to those humanitarian projects, because if you're investing money, the stock market, right, and the Fidelity or all these bonds, make sure you research it. It doesn't belong to the cabal, because the cabal is using the money for all these psyops and black operations here, destroying humanity, destroying star seeds and guardians, okay, and wreaking havoc in the solar system, in the galaxy, with the black hole technologies, and with those black sun group, right, the Belial group. They're anti-life, anti-Christ. You see the Mr. Schwab, right, in Switzerland. I mean, the World Economic Forum and the Bilderberg. I mean, the mafia, the where the cabal, the Illuminati, I mean, the families, the bloodline, they've been raped too. They've been actually invaded or infiltrated. So again, we have to be compassionate. Important, what I learned, we have to embrace all that, see it for what it is, and implement compassionate formula into all that, because some of those who really were participating in those horrible activities, they were bribed, they were raped, right? They were tortured. In order to be a president, here it used to be like that, you had to be hunted. You had to be mind controlled, trauma-based mind control, like even Bush Jr., right? You can listen to Kathy O'Brien, Sex Slave in White House, with her documentary, right? It's called Trans That Movie, right? And she's talking about it. She and him were both hunted, right? They were sold to those three agencies, right, for the mind-controlled monarch, called monarch, and we have to dismantle all that, right? And so how many individuals, right, they've been raped, they've been mind controlled, they've been traumatized, tyrannized, tortured. We need the med beds, we need the healing technology, we need the Tachyon technology. So those who have the money, investments, maybe for those humanitarian projects, and for star seeds, for guardians, who are doing the work. Right? First, we have to do the inner work. That's why I talk about the Ascension protocol. We have to heal ourselves in order to deal then, with all the trauma and drama happening in the external world, in politics, in the military, the pharma, right? All these corporations, education, religion, entertainment industry. Look at all this cloning there, all this perverted behavior there, the artists or the singers, also they participated in those satanic ritual abuses, right? The cooking spirits, Abramovich, the black witches, the sodomy, the sorcery, guys, it's all now being revealed. It was people believe in a government. I'm so lucky, or I'm so thankful, grateful. In Eastern Europe, you didn't like government. You knew that it was all wrong, right? The communism, the Communist Party. So you kind of had to seclude yourself, but then you couldn't talk about God. You really couldn't go to church, right? But for me, yoga, meditation, that's how I started. When I left this town close to Slovakia, Poland, I went to Prague, the capital of Czech Republic. It used to be Czechoslovakia. And then I started studying Buddhism, like Hinduism, and this other religion or philosophies, but it was all going deep within. But really the yogi rishis, there was the autobiography of a yogi, Pamsa Yogananda. I saw the picture of Matavar Babaji sitting in a cave meditating. He can materialize, dematerialize. He is a deathless yogi on a path of immortality, right? And that's what I wanted to bring to military, not drinking adrenochrome and in those engaged in those satanic satanic rituals and raping and murdering and killing innocent people in those villages in Middle East, right? Some kind of tomahawk missile, you know what I'm saying, running the Metatronics reversals, okay, the based in mathematics, okay, the codes, the anti-life, anti-Christ, anti-human codes of those negative ones, right? The negative reptilians, the negative Anunnaki, the negative Dracos, and the tall grays doing all kinds of horrible experimentations. And you know, they're just creating all these wars, and they're using us as batteries, and they're stealing our DNA, and they're selling it on a stock market or black market, right? And because they know how precious that is, because we were created in a very special way, right? The babies of the universe, you know, the divine angelic luminous beings. So guys, understand the cosmic history or the earth history, the guardian materials, right? Important to study. Ashayana or Lisa Renee. Oh my God, the protocol of the evolving self, right? You're asking yourself, who am I? Why did I come here to this planet? What is my mission? And so on. We already talked about it, guys. Recognize and dismantle the 3D, all the belief system, right? The old programming, all conditioning, all habits, dogma, trauma, drama, the pain body, the shadow body. Transform, transmute, invoke the violet flame, okay? Experience, then you can experience the communion, the sacred communion with your soul, right? Calling upon your soul, blending with your soul, extremely important. And then we have the quantum manifestation protocol, the quantum science, harmonic reactor, nanotechnology. That's channeled here through Marina Jacobi, right? Through the hybrid races, helping us again with the ascension, helping us, you know, with the evolution, with the liberation, helping us to, you know, finally, you know, activate those new codes so we can see things clearly, what is happening, what is transpiring. We can start using the highly advanced technology, but with loving kindness, being aligned with God's divine law, God's divine will. It has to do all frequency vibration, right? Now, fluctuation, you have to be in your heart, in your center, in that core, build that inner core, right? Cleanse your chakra, aura, energy field, listen to solfeggio tones, healing music, sound bath therapy, right? Like I experienced in New York. It was amazing. It can release your trauma drama, right? Again, that's what I have for veterans, for military. And you know, also the Ayurvedic massages, applying warm sesame oil on the entire body, and also having application on your forehead because of the mind control, the prefrontal cortex, right, destroyed from those guys, Marines who were highly abused, and you know, the trauma-based mind control and so on. So that's what I started back in 2009. So we have that, the balancing karma through nutrition. I already showed you the book Magenta Pixie, okay? So light diet, guys, distilled water, fasting. Let me see, do I have the I have the notes. I do. What happens when you fast? If we have time, we can go over that. It's unbelievable how the body rejuvenates itself. Dr. Eric Berg, okay? You can find him on YouTube channel. What happens after 12 hours? The spike in growth hormone. It's anti-aging, fat burning hormone. It heals your joints, and it makes new proteins. After 18 hours, if you're fasting 18 hours, autophagy happens. The recycling of old damaged proteins happens, and microbes and all these sticky proteins. And you have new amino acids, so the body can use them to build new tissue. You regenerate, rejuvenate, just drinking distilled water and fasting. 12 hours, 18 hours. Well, what happens 24 hours of fasting? You're running our ketones, that's the superior fuel, right? That's alternative fuel. And actually it comes from that liver, because the liver is finally being detoxed and purified. And so after 24 hours, the hunger and craving goes away. You're building antioxidant reserve, and you're running on more oxygen. So you don't even have to do cardio. I mean, of course, we walk on the beach, you know, do some mild workout, but fasting, it does all this wonderful magical work for you. The body's amazing. That's why the negative ones, they want our DNA, destroying our light bodies, destroying our brain, right? Mental capacities. Those especially, you know, of highly evolved souls, are extremely mental. the Atlantis mind, Atlantis rising, right? We're resurrecting the Atlantis energies, the Lemurian energies, the ancient Egypt energies, and so on. Where the high priestess, high priestesses, and so on back then, from those golden ages. I'm not talking about the reptiles again and doing the sorcery and black magic and sodomy. Okay, so you guys, you have to differentiate that. Very important to start distinguish. Okay, what is running the reversals, the descending spiral, and what is running the Christos codes, right? The Christic spiral, up evolution, because we are entering the new golden age, and we are ascending. We're going to the next harmonic universe, number 2, right? Soul connection, consciousness expansion. Those of us, we can finally connect to the Christos founder races through the galactic core. It's been repaired, right? The grid's been repaired, or constructed. Also the 12D grid, very important. And the galactic core, like I said, being resurrected. The stargates here, right, with the guardians protecting it, so it's not being infiltrated, because the negative ones had their stargates running the AI, the metatronic reversals, all these artificial, inorganic nonsense. They had super quantum computers, right? And that's why with those nanobots in the military, those guys, they were nothing but just a subject for them, like playing like a video games with them. You know what I'm saying? It was all trick, all deception, all lies, all perversion, dumbing down. So how in a world you want to be a warrior? You have to connect with God, with source. You have to do the inner work, right? Shogun, be shogun, samurai, ninja, and so on. Resurrecting, the martial arts, right? Of those true spiritual warriors fighting for truth, the defenders of truth, the guardians. So it's time to have a strong military, right? And correcting all this stuff on a military basis. And the inflammation is dropping, the gut healing after 24 hours, okay? Increased stem cells in the gut, improvement in the cardiovascular function, brain function. The brain repairs itself, guys. Okay, and then the cleaning of fungus, mold, and yeast happens after. That's the 24 hours. What happens after 48 hours? Stem cell stimulation, healing, repair, anti-aging, making more mitochondria, and 72 hours, excellent immune system plus stem cells. Look what this does. That's the descending spiral. But of course, some of the batches, I know that some of that was, whether the Whiteheads, I would say the Pleiadians, the Galactic Command, they took care of it. They neutralized the nanobots, or whatever it was put into the hydrogels, right, into those JAB, those VAX, right? Everything that was put there, I know that it was then harmonized, re-energized, neutralized, because remember, the good ETs, the benevolent ETs, they have even much more advanced highly advanced technology. But first they had to learn, understand what those bad guys are doing, in order then to harmonize or neutralize the negative effects of those negative aliens, right? That participating in transhumanism, depopulation, genocide, right? Eugenics. It's like, you cannot just shoot somebody. I mean, of course, when, your soul lives, your energy goes up. Very important what you think. And that's why they abuse and power in those higher places, right? And, the military, you can't do that. If you want to be a warrior, spiritual warrior, galactic commander, like the Ashtar command, you have to be one with God, one with the law of one. Studying the universal laws, extremely important part of the Ascension protocol, right? And you understand God's will, right? No harm, ahimsa. That's all these morals and ethics and disciplines. That's why those guys, they need to be recruited. They're deprogrammed. They need to be rewired, and morals, ethics, and disciplines with 8 steps of yoga there, okay? With the Ayurveda cooking, being in nature and meditating, okay? So they can levitate. Martial art, right? The training also in breath work, okay? Fire. breath of fire, and so on. So because they were open, sadistically to those higher dimensions in that astral plane through torture and tyranny, and having those nanobots of CCP, right, of the Archons Chimera group, of those gray aliens. And that's how they were hooked to the superquantum computer, because it created the Neuralink, the Nazi Neuralink, through the graphene oxide. And then the Dark Fleet was just controlling them, putting them at this location, that location. Now the war in Middle East and Kuwait and, Vietnam and Korea. And, the Gestapo, the Nazi having fun, the Black Sun entities, right? The Belial group. And just time to awaken, time to see all this, right? Time to resurrect all the energies and bring the Holy Mother and Holy Father, here the Divine Parents, back online, right? So that requires a lots of inner work and lots of, contemplation, meditation, lots of study. So very thankful for Lisa Rennie, all her material, and Ashayana, the Guardian materials. So that was, guys, for fasting, okay, and how to be vegan, extremely important. So Ayurvedic cooking, I will talk about that. 8 steps of yoga, I already talked about, with all these morals, ethics, disciplines, right? Asanas, of course, the yoga postures, there's the physical part of it, but then you control your breath. You control the prana, right? And then, extremely important, withdraw from the external world and how to center. Go deep within, right? So people are externalized, and the horizontal kind of experimentation, the outside, what that person is saying, and do something physically instead of let go, let God, and let's explore the inner world, right? The inner self, the inside. So then you can change the outside. You cannot change the outside and you have a war, inner war going on inside of yourself, okay? So, and japa mantra meditation, invoking the violet flame, chakra cleaning through solfeggio tones, energy hygiene, coloring mandalas, PTSD time to heal, right? Already mentioned Kathy O'Brien and her transformation of America. Write things down, pen and paper, or pencil and paper, right? Triggers you, write it down. Now, also write things down, your dreams, your journaling. What is changing, or automatic writing, guys, or coloring, like I said, start painting or drawing, so you can start being creative again, at the same time releasing drama from the cellular densities. So it has to be both, inside and the outside. And Galactic Codex, guys, Galactic Codex, we have the it's simplified on my website, yanakalai.com, the law of divine grace. Every sentient being has the right for physical and spiritual abundance. Every sentient being has the right for ascension, planetary, interstellar. Every sentient being has the right to connect with their own star family, galactic family, and soulmates, right? Even though they're mind-controlled and they participated in those satanic rituals through force, they were abused and violated, right? All this tyranny and so on. So we have the right for all information, guys, not all these lies and deceptions and watching MSM and, the subliminal programming through watching TV, some of the playing video games, you guys. This is not the way to go. We have alternative medias or news and so on, but at the same time, Kingdom of Heaven is within. All the answers to your questions are within. So doing the inner work, purification, right? Decalcify your pineal gland, chanting, right? Japa mantra meditation, fasting, that's how you decalcify your pineal gland, drinking distilled water, light diet, right? Superfood, talk about moringa, cacao, hemp, chlorella, spirulina, okay? Juicing and smoothies I put into, okay? So everything is available. You just kind of start somewhere, somehow. For me, I had to just kind of struggling financially. I had to really simplify my life to the real basics. Still driving my car here, 18 years old, I now have a scratch and dent, kind of had a little bit of parking incident. But that was kind of my thing. You just have to be watchful and careful. you know. But time for levitating cars, you know, have a little bit of fun. You know, just embrace the ascension, this new earth, right? Meeting Pleiadians or Pleiadian family from Taygeta and so on. So we can feel our true divine essence and really feel what life is all about and joy. You know, that's kind of my dream, my wish, my vision. I'm very happy for you guys who are enjoying here this still kind of 3D or 4D live, or waiting for the 5D ascension. I want to go to also have the cosmic energies. I want to experience, you know, my galactic self, my avatar self, and we go extremely high. But anyway, all is good. It's time to be free and sovereign. Okay, so claim your boundaries, God, sovereign, free boundaries. But also know that the power comes from within, right? And it's the threefold flame. You have the power, love, and wisdom. The wisdom, that's the golden color. Power is the blue, right? The power, not the talking about the abuse of power of the cabal, the Illuminati, the shadow government, the negative alliance, but the power that lies within that sacred connection to the divine, to God, to source. And then love, of course, that's the pink or magenta, the violet. Okay, here we go. This is like a truck here backing up, making all this noise. It looks like Eastern Europe in 80s, how I grew up. So America, time to wake up, make this world a better place. Pray for all these blue states, right? Especially New York, resurrecting the status of liberty, of abundance in New York, New York City. New York City is the city of fire. New York is the purity God desires. Law of balance, of course. We're correcting all these mistakes those bad guys need to accept. You know, the Galactic Codex, even the Anunnaki, right? The Nazis, you know, of the negative faction. They need to see the consequences of their actions and start doing positive stuff, helping humanitarians, helping Ascension, with the Ascension, with the transition, with the transformation, with the liberation, with the evolution, right? The law of intervention. We are implementing the Galactic Codex. We have the golden rule, the law of response, how you want to be treated. One should treat others as one would like others to treat oneself. Okay, so that's the golden rule is essential for the modern concept of human rights. But at the same time, I know as warriors, we're dealing also with demonic energies, right? With the astral plane. I was dealing with the DARPA, you know, the men in black, you know, the secret service, you know, the secrecy of whatever that is, you know, repellent to JFK, who was, right, assassinated, all these things. Again, I don't talk, there are secret societies, what I've experienced, but that was of that enlightened nature, that was of who were starseeds back then, hundreds years ago, right? Meeting at certain places and talking about Bhagavad Gita and telekinesis, and about the Jewish Kabbalah with 12 spheres, about spirituality. So law of cause and effect, what goes around comes around, guys. Positive and loving actions bring positive and loving results. That's how we are building good karma. So you have bad karma, right? When you have negative fear-based actions, bring negative and fear-based results. That's called bad karma. But you have positive and loving actions, bring positive and loving results. That's a good karma. Our actions bring our own results based on what we have chosen. Are we choosing love? Are we choosing love, or are we choosing fear? So what is law of oneness? You can study that. You know, that we're here in this together. We exist within this field of mind energy, and so we're one with it. We cannot, like right now, so many people are light workers, right, rejecting the shadow or the darkness and the pedophilia and, you know, the satanic rituals, or, you know, the money laundering, right, the stock market, and just kind of, oh no, just be just positive, be just positive. But if you yourself didn't transmute that ego, the negative ego within yourself, around yourself, in your family, in your workplace, you're going to attract it more and more. So the shadow is going to grow more and more. So learn how to work with those energies. All is well. Forgive yourself and be compassionate with that situation, with yourself. And that's how you can transmute the entire situation. And that's how you raise your frequency vibration. And that's what it's all about. Law of one. right? Very important. So all things, all of life, all of the creation is part of one original thought. In the state of singleness and oneness, polarities are harmonized, complexities are simplified, paradoxes have solutions. Unity is infinite. Unity is formed with compassion. Unity binds all things. All is interconnected. The universe is infinite. There is no end to selves. There is no end to your thinking, understanding, no end to your perceptions of creation. You're eternal, right? Time to understand that you're immortal, eternal, but doing it through inner work and having devotion, dedication, connection to the divine, to source, to that 0 point, God matrix, the source of all Genesis, not like the negative ones, right? And the cabal, the Illuminati, and so on, doing it through drinking adrenochrome and through torture and abusing the power and having that alien machinery siphoning energy from the moon, from the planet, right? And wreaking havoc in the entire galaxy. On this planet, and using humanity as their batteries for evil purposes. Okay, so you guys, you can study that. Let's go to talking about food or New Earth. Yeah, so that was the New Earth project, the divine justice, transformation, transmutation, right? Creating the cosmic galactic societies here, having the enlightened connection with Pleiadians and other star systems, the Andromedans, of course. And time for fairness, unity, truth, and to be part of cosmic galactic community. Ayurveda, guys, it's a knowledge of life. I will pretty much focus on digestion and diet. Again, recommending have your own garden, your own place, kitchen, right, where you can cook. Utensils, all organic, no plastic, no Teflon. Organic spices, we'll go over some of the spices. Organic fruits and vegetables. Organic mung beans, split beans, aduki beans. You need to soak them. You have to learn, you have to understand how to really cook properly. That's what Ayurveda is all about, okay? So no cooking with plastics, measuring cup, all glass, okay? So only natural material goes to Ayurvedic kitchen. Is a sacred space, clean, right? Harmonized. Listen to some chanting. Used to have this little statue of Ganesh, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. He's the healer, offering food before you're eating, sitting straight properly, right? Being in a present moment. I used to make ghee each and every month. Ghee, Ghee. Okay, it was like a sacred ceremony. Each and every full moon, I will be doing that. That's the true fat. Cooking with ghee, I can go over that. Amazing effects it has on your body, on your skin. How you then nicely digest. And then you have a good evacuation as well. Okay? And then, the fasting, the fleeting enema with warm sesame oil. That was the key. There was fasting each and every new moon. So beautiful sacred ceremonies, sacred rituals. Again, I don't talk about the reversal, the black magic, the satanists, the sodomy, the luciferians, the satanists, right? And so when I'm talking about the sacred ceremonies, the sacred rituals, the divine mother, holy mother, and so on, right? The rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains, I talk about that energy, right? Like I started back then also with my project, and I was a yoga instructor. I've been now doing yoga for over 25 years, and now going back to also Ayurvedic cooking, because that was pretty much distorted and it was darkened, right, by the military, by the MIC back then in 2009 or 10. And then of course certain individuals wanted to get rid of me. But the Ashtar is, with his highly advanced technology, the Pleiadians, the Icturians, the Andromedans, right? They are keeping the body here alive so I can continue with my mission, with sacred healings, with sacred ceremonies, with the teachings of the Rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains, 8 steps of yoga, Ayurveda, okay? Tips to aid digestion, guys. Slice of ginger with pinch of rock salt. You are drinking warm or hot water before or during meal. Not. Can you bring me ice water? Right? It's probably full of fluoride and chlorine or horrible chemicals if it's a tap water. So you make sure if you're in a restaurant, you order distilled water, forget about sprinkled water, right? And so on. That's why I don't go out, guys. Keep everything at home, keep everything sacred, keep things now simple, going back to basics, simple living, high thinking. So room temperature water with cucumbers, especially during summer, right? The summer is approaching, but we have the spring. So ginger tea or cooking with ginger, extremely important. And leafy greens, got lots of protein, right? You'll be surprised, minerals and vitamins, and the chlorophyll is there, right? So it helps you with cleansing, purifying of that mucousy when people are eating too much during the winter. Oh my God, no yogurt, especially with fruits. Eat fruits alone, please. That has to do with the food combination. Also, half and half, yogurt and water. You mix it together. You put some coriander, organic spice, or you can put cilantro also on the top with black pepper, right? And then that helps you with digestion, or it's cooling during summer. Okay, so that the tips to aid digestion, that's also lassi after meal. And of course, very important not to overeat, right? So I used to do that, like in a restaurant. I feel so good, but then they're serving you more food, and then you just feel lethargic, you feel tired, and it's just irritating. Like, oh my God, now I overate again. And that what happens, it happens in restaurants. So then, if you have your small kitchen or just stove, cooking simply, but Ayurvedically, you're following the Ayurveda protocol, the wisdom, right? The wisdom teachings of the ancient ones. So then you can adjust the digestion. The colons needs to heal, right? The small intestines needs to heal. Your stomach, if you have problems with the stomach, with digestion, aloe vera gel, you can have like a spoon of that before you eat each and every meal. So cosmic energies, I will probably, let me see, I talk a lot as usual. Cosmic energies in nature. So when I say sattva, sattvic food, it has everything to do that brings your body back into homeostasis, into balance, into the divine matrix, okay? And sattva, sattvic food means you're eating locally, seasonally, organically, right? Farmers market, whereas farmers market, or you grow your own food, or if you go shopping, just simple shopping, it's organic, okay? Fasting is involved in it, right? The very simple cleansing methods like detox tea, coriander seeds, fennel seeds, and cumin seeds. Okay, drinking warm or hot water with lemon each and every morning to cleanse your liver. Okay, so very simple techniques and methods. Of course, you can do celery juicing. It's great, perfect for this time, a time of spring. So the Raja and the Rajas energy, that's the energy, that's a movement. That it has a positive part, like of positive action transformation. But if you get into aggressive mode and people are drinking and too much with the garlic, or actually garlic can get you more lethargic, tamasic. But maybe onions and so many people like hot spices and chili and Mexican food, right? And then the whole macho stuff, and I got fully vaccinated, I'm like, this aggressiveness and eating lots of meat, right? So that's part of the Raja energy. You want to moderate it, right? Bring it into love, into balance, so you can then start making it sattva food. So Tamas, that's the inertia, slow pace. Sometimes we need to slow down, right? The stability, very important, but it can go into negativity, which is procrastination and resistance. We have 5 elements, guys, in nature, 5 platonic solids, 5 senses, right? So we're dealing with space, with ether, with sound, and that's the dodecahedron. Then we're dealing with air, with breath, prana, The heart chakra, that's the green color, this octahedron, the octahedron, that's Platonic solid. Fire, acids, enzymes, transformation, and digestion, right? So let's people eating eggs, right? You know, or mucousy, there's a mucousy stuff. You want to add something that will help you with the mucousy. With eggs, a little bit of cayenne pepper or black pepper, right? I don't recommend eating yogurt unless it's organic or Greek yogurt. Add a little bit more water, and then you can add something for better digestion. It can be even cardamom, cinnamon, coriander. Okay, if you put more water to it, then you drink lassi. That's the lassi drink. It's perfect, helping you with digestion, especially after meal. So that was the fire, that's the tetrahedron, Platonic solid. And then you have water, the bodily fluids, right? Blood, plasma, we are dealing with icosahedron. And earth element, the physical body, bones, the skeletal structure, the matter, we are dealing with cube. The 5 elements are also in your hands. So that's why Ayurveda teaches, right? Sitting properly, spine straight, and eating with your food, with hands. Of course, you're cleaning. You're right. It's clean and everything, because this is space here. This is air, right? This is fire. This is water, and this is earth, right? So you're actually activating even, through the elements, your senses, and all better for digestion, for taste, for elimination. Even, in Japan, look how they serve the food. I mean, it's aesthetic. I mean, it's just beautiful to the eyes, right? So you want to eat something that feels good, looks good, tastes good, it's healthy, or it's organic, it's sattvic. Okay, we have 5 senses, of course. You see how everything is interconnected, guys. And people go to restaurants, expensive food, right? And then they get this bloating and even food poisoning. And you gotta have these metal utensils, and making sure like the dining is proper. And then you don't know even who cooked it, what was the mood, right? What kind of oil they used, what kind of spices, okay? And of course, eating meat, what kind of meat was it injected with all these artificial hormones, okay? So GMO food, why would I go to a restaurant? Why? I can just snack on crackers, right? The brown rice crackers, rye crackers, and just drinking my distilled water, having my fruits and vegetables, avocado. I love avocado. Coconut, whether it's coconut milk or coconut flakes, making smoothies with apples and superfood, and just living simply but happily, and being in tune to the divine and to Mother Nature, making those sacred connections, right? That's how I overpowered the Metatronic reversals, what happened in the military, right? The black operations, the psyops, having sacred connection to Mother Earth and to Father Sky, or to Cosmic Heart of Father Mother God. You can check the 3 Hearts meditation on my website, yanakalai.com, under Ascension. So when people say dosha, those are biological forces in the body that affect our bioneurology, our psychology, our mind, our emotions, even our behavior. Sometimes I need to ground myself, right? My mind is scattered, going too much, because I'm vata. We are regularly irregular, right? Those are thin people, tiny, but we are very spiritual. So when I cook, but not much, I'm cooking like a parsnip, carrot, right? Or broccoli, cauliflower. Cauliflower, do you see? It looks like a brain. So it's perfect for your brain. If somebody likes walnuts, look at the walnuts. It nurtures your brain because it even looks like the brain. See how Mother Nature created everything? She's a perfect architect, designer. I mean, of course, it comes from the solar rishis, right? They are the true, designers here. And, I'm part of that structure. We are etheric designers. We're etheric architects, making sure there's a beauty everywhere, and that sacred symbology, sacred structure that the archons, the negative ones, perverted, distorted. That's why I talk about constantly about the reversals and base mathematics, how we had to override it with the base 12 mathematics, okay, and make this world a better place, and helping with the liberation, with the ascension, with education. Right? We need to re-educate ourselves, the knowledge of the ancients coming back online. Well, I was eliminated for that because I wanted to talk about yoga, Ayurveda, Ayurvedic massages, right? For the young veterans and so on. So somebody, including my soul group, either didn't like it or was programmed, right? It had to do with sex games. No, thank you, because you have to master your sexual energies, okay? So, so we are, resurrecting all this true knowledge. So we need to re-educate ourselves. So also building not only healing centers, but, new schools, new universities, or places where people can re-educate themselves. And they can understand the true nature of life. Right? The true reality, the true design of all that is. I am that I am. So, like I said, the Vata people, right, irregular, that's us, like, kind of tiny people, and so we have to take care of ourselves. We have to ground ourselves, and constantly, I'd rather be warm than cold. Pitta people, right, can be feisty. I have lots of actually Pitta in me too. I'm extremely like masculine energy, even though female here, very tiny, but I got my warrior energy of that Brahmin caste, right? But that's why I read Bhagavad Gita like twice. I was all into Hinduism, Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, into samurai, ninja. I love Japan. Let's go back to Japan. It's beautiful food there. So, not impressed by whatever was happening and now it's transpiring in those U.S. military bases, right? The U.S. military, it needs to be now the Space Force, right? The new military now version connected to the law of one, and the military, the Marines, the Marines of USA connected to the new golden grid, right? And restructuring themselves through bioregenesis, deprogramming, rewiring the subconscious mind, and aligning with the force that is within, with God's divine will. So Pitta people, athletic and competition and luxurious cars, and you gotta look good, and you got your Rolex, right? So compared to like Vata people, we are more like tiny, maybe some of them modest, and so on, more like shy, people intimidated. We don't have like that stronger body, like we're extremely tiny, but like I said, very spiritual. So we have to take care of our aura, energy field, especially if you're a light worker and if you're a star seed. Okay. So for them, they're intense, and so for them, oily, they're oily, and they are, hot. So they get hot immediately, right? They like the cold weather. They like to be in a cold environment, or snow and skiing and looking good, and good looking girlfriend or boyfriend, and just beautiful home and house, and showing things to other people in parties. And I was married to somebody like that, so I know exactly what that was all about. I was just watching and observing Om Namah Shivaya and chanting, of course, being in my meditation. So, that's the competition to me, the capitalism, the materialism, the consumerism, and somebody, being, high-ranking military officer and being MD and, the medical director for fire rescue and joining SWAT. So, I experienced that kind of AA personality, that intensity of a Pitta, extremely successful, but then, joining U.S. Army, boom, 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 boom. Got ALS and goodbye, right? So what was in those things? That would be nice to investigate that as well. Of course, some of that stuff doesn't even come from this planet. And then you have Kapha people, right? Kapha, the slow, they are big. It doesn't mean that they're FAT, like fat, They just have a big bone structure. What do? You know? But they're very sweet, very nurturing, right? Like babies. They have lots of babies. Like for me, oh my goodness, this distortions here. Oh my goodness. I mean, unless somebody's financially supported, then I can have one child, right? Pita people, I mean, they can pretty much play with family, 2-3 children, and very well financially secured here in his 3D and corporate job. But you see, things are changing. Things will be changing. The 3D is collapsing. So simplifying your life, simplifying your food, going back to nature, going back to basics, going back into your heart is going to be the key. Okay, that's going to be then the lifestyle. Extremely important. So again, kapha people, slow and heavy and oily, right? They can have problem usually with stomach if they eat something that doesn't sit with them. So for them, skipping breakfast and not much of that oily food, right? I know they like to bake. Many people, right? The bakery, you know, and so on. But the sugar, guys, white sugar, it's got bleach. It's devoid of all minerals and vitamins. That's why you want to use agave, coconut sugar, right? Jaggery, that's in India. You want no artificial sweeteners. That actually it's carcinogenic. Read the ingredients, right? Everything that you buy, of course, in restaurants. I mean, good luck. Well, you get probably GMO food. You get, fluoride water. Who knows who was cooking, right? But at least ask for oil. No canola oil, no vegetable oil, no peanut oil. Make sure, hey, you guys do have sunflower oil, or you have a sesame oil, or can you cook it on butter, on ghee that is organic? So all this adjustment, I talk about the sattva, right? The sattvic food, the kitchen, it should be a sacred space, right? Clean, sacred ceremonies. With blender and juicer, no Teflon, no aluminum, no plastic utensils. Cast iron, right? When you're you have to also learn, how to cook with that. You can roast your seeds, so you can bring that aroma online. You can make your own masala. It means you combine seeds together and then you grind them, and then you can use it as a spice in a kitchen. Taste, right? Taste is extremely important. We need to also purify our senses. What happened, many people got this, right? Oh, we don't smell, or we don't taste. You see that there was some kind of agenda behind it, right? Because this is not normal. We were designed to taste, to feel, to enjoy our senses while celebrating the divine. Not enjoying our senses and porn and hookups, right? And boning. And there's low vibe music for 40s, for 40 hertz, and drugs and alcohol and raping and sodomy and black magic, right? So that's degradation, that's desecration of the divinity that is within us. That's who we are. Okay, and that's what I experience a lot in the United States. So hopefully things are changing. We're going back to the Republic, USA, resurrecting the original Constitution, right? Even the teachings about the Freemasonry, right? From the Great White Brotherhood, the Ascended Master, Saint Germain, okay, and the teachings of the Rishi sages of the Himalayan mountains. So this is my goal. How to make this world a better place, how to make America great again, and especially the military, right? The military force and the Marines of USA. So, sweet taste, that's water and earth, right? The grains and the root vegetables, fruits, licorice, maple syrup, very good. You can cook or you can bake with maple syrup and even with applesauce. So no more white sugar, no more bleached flour. You guys, read the ingredients. Extremely important. I'm vegan, so no milk. I even learned from Ayurveda, milk is used for medicinal purposes only. You don't drink milk. You can have a little bit of milk, add some water, cardamom, right? Coriander or cinnamon, nutmeg. You can heat it up before you go to bed. Right, heat it up a little bit, have it warm with just a little bit of nutmeg, because it can do also some interesting stuff with your hormones and with your brain if you overdo the nutmeg. Because Dr. actually Eric Berg talks about the negative effects of nutmeg. Don't use it at all. But Ayurveda, I mean, you can use actually clove, and you can use anise, right? So there's so many beautiful spices. I love to just cooking with spices, or making tea, making masalas, eating herbs, or having just a garden with herbs, you guys, and eating superfood and juicing, drinking distilled water, fasting. You don't have to worry about some crazy cooking and or going to restaurants and so on, because now with the Ascension and with the new light codes and activation of your DNA and being on the sun with the plasma light body, right, the cosmic rays, gamma rays frequency, like we're being inundated by that. And there are withdrawal symptoms. Trust me, it's like, oh my God, what is happening? The ego kicks in, right? The karma kicks in, the fear kicks in, the shadow self kicks in, the trauma body kicks in, right? The trauma, drama, the pain body. Just take a deep breath. Go into your heart, go into your center. Just know that all is well. God loves you. You are being loved. You are being nurtured. You are being guided. Know that you are special. You are unique. And you came here to do wonderful things. Ascension is a process, so it takes time. The sour, right? We have the citrusy fruit and sour cream, yogurt, vinegar, lemon. I love like lemon, putting lemon into my smoothies and into my salads, right? So I have greens, leafy greens, very important, with lemon, olive oil, Celtic salt, black pepper, avocado, right? Hemp seeds, jicama. This beautiful, I don't know, it's a fruit or vegetable from South America, right? You just peel off the skin, and it's just so juicy. It's kind of beige white color. And just cut some cubes in it. And I love carrots. I really do carrots. I just cut them very tiny. I'm in paradise. And some scallions, right? Chives, some herbs. Simple food. Very simple. Eat simply. Fermented food. Some people like, a little bit of sauerkraut. I bought miso for my miso soup. It's just pretty much water with spices and with scallions, of course. And I like the rice noodles there. And I'm in heaven. And I just drink that water, right? I'm adding the miso at the end, so it has this kind of flavor. It's perfect for your digestion, for your stomach, for your intestines, for your colon, right? Good bacteria. We need to resurrect, revive the flora in the guts because of the GMO and people who are on medications, right? And drinking fluoride water. Everything needs to be purified. And the technology is already there, right? The med bed's already there. So we just need to raise the frequency vibration, the awareness. That's why I do what I do. My videos. Again, take only what resonates with you and leave the rest. Salty. So some people are more into sweet, right? Some people rather have a salty nuts or kelp and seaweed. Cucumbers. Cucumbers are great for summer, actually, guys. You just cut them, make sure the middle part, all these seeds, make sure you either munch it really well, chew it very well, because then it gets stuck in your stomach, your intestines, right? Or you can get rid of it, right? So again, nice olive oil, a lemon, salt and pepper, and those who like Greek yogurt, you can just have a little bit over those cucumbers for summer with dill, right? The black pepper is delicious. People will be now buying watermelon, right? Eat it alone. You cut it again with mint or with lemon or lime, right? Lime is great for summer, lemon better for winter, and also put some coconut sugar over it, coconut sugar, brown sugar, and some people actually, I was taught to put black pepper over it because it's too watery, it's too much, especially somebody who is vata like us. It's really not good for you. It can, it's water retention, it can do that kind of stuff. So again, eat moderation, right? We talk about the middle path, yellow brick road, the moderation, and start really controlling your controlling the impulses like of hunger, right? Or how much, because I was addicted to food, you know, because of the mind control and the being electrocuted and just being tortured, and you know, the satanic rituals and all this kind of stuff. In it's coming from the astral etheric body, astral body, you know, we have a huge big aura energy field. So I had this, you know, the sweets and you know, sugar, but there was not the white sugar. But you know, right now I feel like I'm pre-diabetic. All my parents or grandparents, they were diabetics. So kind of you have that in your lineage, in your blood, right? The bloodline, the ancestral lineage, the ancestors, you know. But in a way, it's a blessing because, like, oh, I can just munch on either rice crackers or just fast. I drink distilled water and I can have superfood, or I can enjoy my salad. So see everything as a blessing, right? Even like my teeth, my gums, oh my God, that's also what happened, right? With all these abuse and violence, the torture and contamination, black goo, right? It was done to me. Well, okay, right? Through fasting, I know I can even resurrect my gums, my teeth, right? Bioregenesis, the technology is here. We just have to call for the divine for help, right? It will all come, all for about materialization, manifestation. That's why I need to connect with my soul group so we can start doing things. So so there was the salty tomatoes, guys. So many people like tomatoes. In Ayurveda, it's recommended to cook tomatoes, have a nice tomato sauce with spices. Don't eat it much alone or raw, right? Just a little bit, maybe those a little bit like yellow tomatoes, or like little bit ones. If you want to cut them, then nicely prepare them with good quality olive oil, good quality salt and pepper, and you know, with lemon, and just eat it sparingly during summer only, right? For winter you can make nice tomato sauce, pungent, right? The cayenne pepper, the chili, the black pepper, onion, radish, garlic, mustard, ginger, jalapeno. I have to be careful about spicy food. I immediately get reaction, even from ginger, if it's too much ginger. So moderation, like I said, the rajasic, when people eat too much spices, the hot sauce, right? It's so not good for you, not good for your skin. And then, you know, people had all kinds of rashes and aggressiveness, and they're wondering what is happening, right? And you have, you know, all this, somebody going to this, what is it, the big the jumbo what is the shrimp festival with all these shrimp sauces. Look for the ingredients, the sodium based benzoate. It's poisoning. It's poisoning our bodies, it's poisoning the mind. Okay, simple ingredients, simple living, you know, simple lifestyle. That's how we heal ourselves and ascend, go to the next octave. Harmonic universe number 2. Bitter, some people like bitter. In India they have bitter melon, but it's so good to help you with digestion. The dandelion, right? You have dandelion tea, toasted dandelion tea is excellent. And turmeric, aloe vera, fenugreek, rhubarb, neem, arugula salad, dark leafy greens, guys. That's the way to go now for spring. To cleanse yourself, right? To detox, organic salads, organic green leaves, and kale. Be careful about spinach, right? Arugula. And what else we have? The spring leaves, lettuce. I mean, okay, very important. Some people like cabbage. See, I cannot do much cabbage. You have to, again, cut it very thin and then massage it, right? With, again, salt and pepper. I would put some turmeric, coriander, and of course olive oil. So it's nice, tiny. They do it with kale. There are all these beautiful things, but you have to remember, you have to eat seasonally, locally. So the purification of your senses, important, being in touch with your divine, the intuition, what feels right, what feels good to you. I had to learn all that. I mean, I learned Ayurveda, but then, you know, through this interesting, like, military, how you call it, qualification of the negative faction, right? I had to relearn everything and start remembering and start going back to God and to my intuition, and just kind of reminding myself what I already knew, right? And how I was born as the pillar of light shining bright. So everything is a process. So that was the bitter and astringent. So unripe bananas, I don't recommend it. Like unripe pineapple, in Ayurveda is saying actually can cause miscarriage. So everything in divine timing. So even the banana, some people like it a little bit before it's ripe. Some people need to have a ripe banana, and some people, my God, it looks almost like brownish or blackish. I would not recommend eating that. You can use it for smoothies. You can freeze it, right, and then use it for smoothies. Don't mix bananas with milk though. So when you do smoothies, make sure you use coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk. We have hazelnut milk. I mean, if you go to alternative stores, I mean, the Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, here we have Diane's, extremely expensive. Everything is available, right? Even we have vegan butter and vegan cheese, feta cheese. It does taste actually pretty good. You'll be surprised, some of the vegan stuff. So don't be afraid of the change. Don't be afraid of growing, expanding, of learning new things, right? The resistance, that's tamas. The resistance, the fear, that's the tamas energy. You know, like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't deal with, really? So explore something new. Don't be afraid of it. Be open. But of course, you got to be ready. And you have to do some inner work. You have to have that devotion, dedication to the divine, to your ascension journey, to your healing journey, the journey of your soul, right? The journey through the 12 spheres, the true Jewish Kabbalah, right? The Merkaba, the true spin of your Merkaba, your light body, so your consciousness can travel to the infinite one. And that's how we were designed. And that's where we're heading. And so plantains, strawberries, pomegranates, okra, sprouts, green beans, yellow, you know, that's the astringent. So people who are Vata people, very tiny, like spiritual, irregular, and so on, we love the sweet, sour, and salty. Those who are the Pitta people, I mean, I'm Vata Pitta, right? Like, you can see that I'm very feisty and fiery and warrior oriented. They like the sweet, bitter, and astringent. So it's like perfect combination, everything doing in moderation. And then Kapha people, slow people, you know, the bigger bone structure. It doesn't mean that they're fat, but they easily, because their metabolism is so slow, they just have a one piece, well, of cookie, right? You should not eat cookie, especially with sugar or with cracker, right? Or they eat pasta. I mean, and of course they gain weight. With Vata people, you know, all these carbs, eating all these carbs because we have fast metabolism, right? But of course, if you exercise, you work, you're on the sun, on the beach, you're doing the inner work, you know, proper digestion, fleeting enema, you know, detoxing, you can massage your stomach area, abhyanga, you do warm sesame oil on your entire body, right? Then you can aid with the proper assimilation and evacuation. And then Kapha people, they like pungent, bitter, and astringent because they're so sweet, right? These big people, they're so sweet. And I think that's what the kind of problem is. Even though some people who can be like really big, maybe they were thin when they were growing up, so it means that their vata got way overboard, their kapha got way overboard. And so I'm sure the health food, the fast food, right? And the sugar and the pasta and the carbs. Do you know they also, here the agenda of the dark ones, what they're putting all kinds of hormones and chemicals into the food, so people become addicted to that. I don't think it is in Eastern Europe. We were different. Like, I was going to grandma, grandpa's garden or organic. So when you get the veggies, the carrots or the cabbage or cauliflower straight from the ground, from the garden, you guys, that's where you get the cheap prana energy, the life force. And that's where you get the most nutrients and vitamins. Of course, the bombarded by the chemtrails and all these chemicals, then you have to redo the soil. But now the good ETs, right, the Galactic Codex, right, they are neutralizing all these harmful effects. I mean, of those harmful chemicals. They are neutralizing all that and clearing the atmosphere, the sky. But we have to pray for them. We have to pray for the world. We have to pray for people. We have to pray for this planet, right? And so that's how we can change these energies. And enjoying ourselves, enjoying our food, enjoying our lives. So everything is possible, right? Everything is possible through Christ, through God. That's why we are going to the divine matrix, the Trinity, not the duality, the up and down and all these fluctuations. If you experience that, go to Namaste. Right? It's like this in your heart. And you can go into your sacred chamber of your heart and pray. And ask for blessings and help. That helps a lot. So let me see, because I wanted to talk about the ghee, but you know what, guys? You can find everything now on my website, yanakalai.com, under services. And you can learn what is ghee, how to make ghee, and how to prepare an Ayurvedic curry meal. Everything is available. There are some recipes there available as well. And, basics of Ayurveda, prerequisite for Ayurvedic cooking. Again, yanakalai.com on services. Everything that is underlined on my website, you can click on it. And it gets you, there's a link to a PDF file, right? Or some document. And you're welcome to use it for your personal use. I mean, for education, for growth, for inspiration. Remember, my videos are for inspirational, entertainment, informational purposes. I'm here to empower you, inspire you, but I'm not really telling you what to do. I have to live that life, right? I have to be the example. I have to walk the talk. So I know God is great. God is within. And my mission, my service, and my intention, or my desire, my goal is, to emanate those energies of the divine, of Christ, right? Being in those Christ mission, to, empower you, to inspire you. So we can join together and make this world a better place. Many blessings and namaste. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.